Well, hello, hello, hello. Look what we have here. This is called a tangram. It's a form of a puzzle that originated in ancient China, and it, believe it or not, uses the same 7 shapes to create so many different things. There are 7 shapes, 1 square, 1 parallelogram, that's this shape here, and 5 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I guess you're wondering how you're going to get these shapes and how we're going to do this. It's going to be relatively easy. It's going to take some folding and cutting and not a lot of measuring. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the shapes. The triangles. You'll notice that 2 of them are very small. One is medium sized and one is large. Now, I found this really cool piece of magazine paper just so I could have color. And I cut it out. It looks like the surface of a planet like Mars or something. So these are my Mars papers. And then you have your square or your parallelogram. So 5, 6, 7 shapes. All right. You'll either start with a piece of paper that's white or colored. And if you don't have colored paper, here's an easy solution. Color it. Sometimes you just have to improvise. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to show you using this blue piece of paper. The very first thing you're going to do is fold this top edge over to the side. And it forms a very big triangle. Then once you've done that, you'll see there's a rectangle left over. That needs to come off. We're not even going to use that for our tangram. Now, we're not making our tangram this big. No way. Let's take this paper and take this square and make it to 4 smaller ones. It's a more workable size. So, fold in half. Make the corners touch. And right now we're going to ignore that first fold that's got that diagonal going through there. And then I like to open it and fold in the opposite direction in half once again, like so. What I'll do while it's still folded is I'm going to cut as neatly as possible right in half on that line. And I'm going to cut down the middle again. And once again. So I end up with 4. I can do this project 4 times. I'll push those to the side and I'll just get started with one of these that already has a fold down the middle. I'm going to cut that. The fold's already there. Cut it in half. That's 2 shapes. We need 7. Let's keep going. Fold this half in half. Only this half. Because this will make the 2 large triangles. And after we cut this, we will set these guys to the side. They're done. They are ready for puzzle time. Now let's make the medium-sized triangle by taking this corner and bringing it straight down to the edge. Hold it and fold it. And rub your fingers across the edge to make a nice crisp fold. Open it and cut on that fold line. Okay, we have 3 that we need. We're still looking for 2 small triangles, a square and a parallelogram. All that comes from here. First step, let's fold this over, and we have one small triangle. Now I'm going to flip it over and fold this back, and I'm going to make sure the corner of this is touching the corner there, so I can make sure I pretty much get my square. Time to cut again. So I cut carefully. There's a little triangle. I need one more. It's coming. Here is the square. Now I need the parallelogram and one small triangle. So I'm going to fold from this bottom corner over to this corner, like so. Wow, that looks like a parallelogram, all right. When I open, I can cut on the fold. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So there's so many possibilities. For example, my Tangram cat. Yesterday I got to do a read along with some kids who were reading about Pete the cat. So that's what gave me this idea. Sort of looks like Pete, huh? And it's blue. And then I made a dancer. I was thinking how the shapes can show someone moving. I took my marker, made a few details, gave it hair like mine, and then I smile. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with these guys yet, but an idea will come to me as soon as I start working. So, let's go. The first thing I do is I put all the shapes on the paper. I'm feeling like maybe a bird might emerge from this. Let's see. What could I use for the head? That could be a head. This square could be a head. And that might make a nice beak. Is this bird going to be flying? Maybe so. Okay. Add some shapes for the body. And a tail. Now the thing about making a Tangram puzzle is the shapes can be beside one another but not on top of one another. So with a little glue stick, I'm going to arrange them back where they were, stick them down, make sure they stay, and then I can go back in and add details. You have to be very careful though when you are gluing your parallelogram down, because it looks different when you flip it. So it's better to just pick up your shape, flip it over, add the glue. That's what I'm doing. I pick my shape up, add some glue, flip it back over. Parallelogram goes right there, so I turn it over. Voila. And the tail. Now that I'm done with that, maybe I'll go in with the marker and add some details. So I can give my wings some feathers. And here's the body and the bird's tail. There's the little birdie's eye. and the beak. I might even go around the outside, outline this guy. Add some more details because this bird is in the sky far above the clouds. And so this is my tangram bird. Possibilities are endless. The only catch is you have to use all 7 shapes and they cannot overlap one another. You have to join them side by side. So enjoy this and remember, it's fun to make cool stuff. This is a little bit of geometry and art and a little bit of art history together because this comes from ancient China. We're using geometric shapes, and for some of you, a parallelogram is a new shape to your vocabulary. Try saying it a few times. You'll get the hang of it. Parallelogram. So it's been fun spending time with you. Come back and see me again. We'll do something else really cool and fun.